Is anyone live with us? Please. Hello, everyone. Good evening, and you're welcome to the day two of Africa Emerging Leaders Conference 2022. You're 2024. Forgive me. You're welcome, please. Is everyone there? Do we have people live? Before we continue, please. If you're joining us, if you're already with us, please can you go ahead and comment? Can you put that comment out in the comment section so that we'll be aware that you're fully here with us, please? Are we together? Are we together, please? Are we together, please? All right, we'll be continuing from this today's segment, and we wouldn't be waiting. We shouldn't be wasting more of our time. Okay, we have Obina. Obina, yes, we are together. Please, where are you joining us from, Obina? Where are you joining us from? Which country are you joining us from? Okay, we have Prince of Adias. We are all set. Thank you very much for coming around. It's good to have you all. For my time zone, it's evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from today for the Africa Emerging Leaders Conference 2024. It's a pleasure to have you all here. Okay, we have GVY Times. Hello, my name is Gani Yusuf from Kano State, Nigeria. Thank you all the way from Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure having you here. Oh, we have, from Kenya. Good to have you, Mr. George. That's my namesake. Thank you for joining us. It's good to have you from Kenya. How is Kenya today? It's a pleasure having you. My name is Loveling George. If you're meeting me for the first time, and it's also a pleasure having all of you. Thank you for joining us. Today is the day two, as you know. Yesterday was super excellent. The great speakers we had here did so much justice to the topics, and it was more empowering and also practical pathways to become a successful person and also how to navigate yourself here as an African. Thank you today for joining us as we begin day two with all pleasure and happiness. So we'll be welcoming our guests from different countries. So we have Emmanuel from Cameroon. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. How is Cameroon today? How is Cameroon today? How is Cameroon today? Please, we'll be moving forward. This is Christian from Ghana. Christian, welcome. It's good to have you. You have the fashion style home. Good to have you, Christian. So we'll be moving forward for today's event. As we all know, it's been an excellent journey so far. Excellent journey so far from Malawi. Welcome. And we wouldn't be wasting your time today as we have to move forward. We have our ambassador, Daniel Gowo from Liberia. Good to have you, Daniel. So let's move forward as I'll be introducing shortly to you a very important person who will be taking charge of the stage today. Remember, we are here to serve you and we are here to give you the best of excellence of experience for attending Africa Emerging Leaders Conference 2024. So at this moment, I'll be bringing up on stage my co-host, my co-moderator, if I may say, a very excellent person, a young, vibrant African who has been transforming the world. And he is no other person but the General Secretary of Africa Emerging Leaders Network in the person of Mr. Tim Heavens. Let us put our hands together in the comment section. Please welcome him. Please welcome him in the comment section while we bring up Mr. Tim Heavens to take over the stage. Thank you for having me. You're welcome, Mr. Tim.
Thank you very much for having me, Miss Loveline. I'm super excited to be here. It's really beautiful to do this with you. I want to say a very big welcome to everybody present here today. Good day to you from wherever you're connecting with us from, all over the world, all over Africa. We're super excited to have you in our midst today. So, my name is Timothy Heavens, and I would be the anchor for today's program. And I am excited. Are you excited? If you're excited to be in today's conference meeting, please show your favorite emoji in the comment section. I want to see that. I want to see how excited you are. If you're excited to be here, please let us know. Let me see that. Let me see your favorite emoji. I can see Daniel. Thank you for joining. I want to see more of your favorite emoji. Let me know that you're here and you are live and you're ready to get the very best out of today's conference. Are you excited? I am excited. I am really excited. I want to welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can see Kelechi. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, yes, I can see that. Thank you. I am also excited. I want to welcome you once again to the day two of the Africa Emerging Leaders Conference. It's a network that is set out to build leaders, network that is set out to bring leaders, bring them together, empower them with the skills, with the knowledge, with the network for global relevance. And I'm super excited to have all of you here attending this conference. And I want us to do something very quickly. If you're excited to be here, please do well to share the video. Now, I want you to click on the link, look for the link surrounding this video, the live stream, share the video, connect with your friends, let your friends connect, your family members, everyone around you, because Africa is set out for a transformation, right? Africa is set up for a transformation. I want every part of your friends, your community, people around you to be part of this. So do well to share the video now. Let's go, let's go. Who is excited? If you're excited, I can see I'm very, very excited. If you're very, very excited, please do well to share the video. Do well to share the video. Tag a friend, tag them along, tell them to come along because day two is going to be mind blowing. Day two is going to be exciting. And again, as you're doing that, before we move on, I want you to click on the subscription button surrounding this video. I want you to click on the subscription button rather, and subscribe to this channel because you'll be getting more from the African Emerging Leaders Network. And also click the notification bell so you can get the first-hand information from this page. Thank you so much. I can see Mr. Emmanuel. Without further ado, let's take a break. Let's take a brief moment rather to go back to day one and talk a little about what we got from day one. If you were here during the day one program, please type in the comment section, I was here. I was here. Let me see that. How many of you were here, were present during yesterday's program? Can I see in the comment section? I was here yesterday. I want to see those who caught the rema from yesterday's program. We're just going to have a very short recap of what we did yesterday before we dive on to our program for today. If you were here yesterday, can I see that in the comment section? Thank you. I can see Obina. Obina was here yesterday. Thank you so much. And you're here day two. Thank you, Land Queen. Oh my God. I love you were here yesterday. Thank you so much for being here yesterday. And thank you for being here today. It's really beautiful. I want more of you. How many of you were here yesterday? You know, we learned a lot of things, a lot of things. And from our first speaker, in fact, when Mr. Precious came up, he said, what makes Africa unique is in our story. So you have a story, I have a story, and every single person has a story, right? He said, telling your story begins from you being the story. If you were not here yesterday, and I'm telling you this, telling your story begins from you being the story. And our first speaker, Hiba Hassim, went further to give us different ways to be of great importance to the country, to our nation, our continent, Africa, right? She said we must strive to face our challenges with bravery, right? We must be brave in facing the challenges of Africa. We must be brave. Thank you. I can see Akko. Akko was here yesterday. Thank you so much for being here yesterday. She also talks about when people struggle and they do not have liberty, they become violent. She was talking about the state of our country, of our continent, some of the challenges we experience, and how we can navigate through. Selflessness is key for leadership. Yes. And then I remembered our second speaker talked about starting on time. He made so much emphasis. We might not get everything 100%. We might not get everything all planned out, all figured out. right? We must start on time, because if we do not start on time, we are delaying the vision of our founding fathers. Do you know that? So you must be ready to start on time. That was a snippet from our last speaker of yesterday. We must be ready to start on time. We must be ready to make a difference wherever we find ourselves. He told us his story of how he started his business, and now he's going to be one of the top entrepreneur in Africa. Is that not exciting? Yes, the link for the conference, a link has been sent, an attendance link has been sent. So towards the end of the conference, please, you mark yourself present for today's meeting. I want to see our emoji. If you are following, type in the comment section, I am following. I am following and I'm ready. I'm ready to receive massively from today. I want to get that in the comment section. If you're ready to receive massively from today's section, please type that in the comment section. I want to know if you're following, right? Yes, I can see Muhammad. Thank you so much. Muhammad said he's excited. Thank you so much for being excited to be here. Please do well to share the live call, the program link for others to join. Yes, we are ready. We are ready. Thank you. Thank you. Umboya. Sorry for the pronunciation. I can see that you're following. Thank you so much. We are here for upholding the vision of our founding fathers, right? We must be ready. We must have the passion to uphold that vision. They've written the vision and they are gone already. It's time for us to go back to our sketching board and look at the vision and run with the vision. We're going to make it plain and we run with it. Unity in diversity. And that is where our strength lies. When we come together, right? If we're separated, we are destroyed already. But when we come together, that is where our power lies. Unity in diversity. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for following. So without further ado, we'll be going on to the next thing for today. I want you to still say, I am ready. I want to know how ready you are with a fire emoji, by the way. With a fire emoji, let me see you. I am ready. I am ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Thank you. I'm ready. I want to see that fire emoji going on. We're about bringing our first speaker. Our first speaker is coming on board. I want to see you say, I am ready. I want to see that. I am ready. I am ready. We're about bringing our first speaker. And trust me, you don't. He's so power packed. Oh my God. He's so power packed that you would want to sit and listen to him. So I need to know that you're ready. If you're ready, say, I am ready. Thank you so much, Kelechi. I can see you. You are ready. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want more. I am ready. More. I am ready. Please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And of course, turn on the notification bell for you to get notified on our programs. Right. And the attendance link has been dropped in the comment section. Please find it and sign in your name. Thank you so much, Obina. Obina said, I am trying. Okay, I'm following. I can see the fire emoji. Thank you. There is so much energy in the comment section. Please, a round of applause for yourself. Well, we are not seeing physically, but you can do that. A round of applause for yourselves because you guys are following. I'm excited. Thank you. Thank you so much, Akko. I am ready. We all are ready. I'm also ready. I'm also ready. It's about to be Rema. It's about to be Rema. Thank you so much. Now we're going to bring our first speaker on board. Please, ladies and gentlemen, join me as we welcome to the stage Master Coach T. Mungate. A round of applause for him, please. Before he comes on board, let's see the clapping emoji. Master T. Tender Mungate. Master Coach Tendai Mungate is a renowned multi-award winning figure in the field of successful leadership coaching and international transformational speaking.
He is known for his expertise in helping individuals and organizations overcome self-sabotaging behavior that may be hindering your personal, career, and business performance. Through his company, Moongate Coaching Consultancy International, he offers services such as team building, employee motivation program, women's success coaching, youth success coaching, teens and kids success coaching, strategic planning, and leadership development facilitation. Tenda emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions and behaviors that may be contributing to a performance gap in one's career or business. He encourages individuals to conduct a thorough performance gap analysis to identify any personal gap that may exist in their thoughts, actions, or habits that are impeding their progress towards their career or business goals. By taking honest and authentic ownership of these self-sabotaging behaviors, individuals can work towards overcoming them and achieving success. As the Executive Director of Moongate Coaching Consultancy International, Tendai Moongate brings a wealth of experience and knowledge to his coaching practice. His approach focuses on empowering individuals to recognize and address the factors holding them back from reaching their full potential. Through his motivational speaking engagements and coaching sections, he inspires others to break free from self-limiting beliefs and behaviors that may be sabotaging their success. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to make welcome Tendai Moongate.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. I'm super excited to be here. Maybe to just confirm, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? I'm just confirming, is there anyone who can hear me before I proceed?
Yes, please. I can hear you.
Super. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that amazing introduction, and thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies, for introducing me, our Director of Ceremonies, and I'm super excited to be here. Greetings from the nation of Zimbabwe. I'm very much honored and humbled to be on this platform. Allow me, before I go any further, to acknowledge the leaders of this amazing network for bringing this conference together. You know what? I am one person who organizes events, and I know it's not easy organizing such a thing as this. So I would just want each and every one of us to just clap our hands in the comment section for the leaders that have organized this particular event for us. It's really amazing. It's really good. And I would like to even welcome each and every one of us in the comment section, those from different countries. I'm super excited. I'm much humbled to be speaking today. So, yes, the introduction was amazing, but this is the thing. I want to apologize in advance because my job as a coach is to interrogate you. So if I end my session today, or if I end my talk or my presentation, I don't know what you're going to call it, without making you get angry in some way, then I would have not done my job very well. But if you get angry in one way or the other, I know I would have done my job very well. So I apologize in advance to those that I'm going to get angry. Yeah, but basically, I'm super excited, and I'm very much honored to be on this platform. And I would like to acknowledge even those that spoke before me. Wow, they really set the pace. You know, when I was listening to the speakers yesterday, I was like, okay, so what am I going to be saying? But today, what I'm going to be talking about is, as I am a success coach, and I like dealing with you as an individual. And today, what I'm really going to be focusing on is you, the individual. In as much as we want Africa to be great, what is your role as an individual in ensuring that Africa will be a great continent? Right. And my topic for today, if you would want to give this topic, if you want to give this a topic, I'm going to be talking about Africa, our continent, its development, my responsibility. I have got a role to play. And today I'm going to be speaking to you. You, the individual, you, the person who wants to see Africa go to the next level, how are you going to be contributing to that, towards that? So one of the key things that we can all agree on is that Africa is a well-endowed continent. I think we can agree on that. From the educational front, from the mineral front, from the economic front, in different spaces, we can agree that it's a well-endowed continent. But now this is the thing. With so much endowment, why is it that it seems like we are the ones who are, who are backward? You know, so today, one of the key things that I've since realized is that Africa, the only thing that can change Africa is us, the Africans. And I know for some people, it's like, huh? Yes, it's the truth. It's you, the person who's watching this video. You are the one responsible for changing Africa and no one else. No one else is going to come from somewhere. And today, that's what we are going to be talking about. So today, I'm going to be talking about two crucial points that are very critical in as you as an individual on how you can take Africa to the next level. All right, but maybe just to share a little bit of background, I myself, I was labeled a failure in life. I was told that I was never going to amount to anything. This was in primary school. And one of the key things that shifted my life was when I was now age 16. I saw this statement, and this statement was by the man Henry Ford, and he said that success is just an attitude. Success is just an attitude. If you believe you can or you cannot, either way, you are right. So today I'm going to use this statement as I start sharing some of my points, and I'm going to say, what do you believe about Africa? What's your narration about Africa? But first of all, before we talk about Africa, what do you believe about yourself? Because how can you believe in a continent when you yourself, you don't believe in yourself? That's the very first important question I want to ask you. Do you believe in you? My brother yesterday talked about the power of study. And the only way you can get started is if you believe in yourself. You know, I always tell people that true success starts when you believe in yourself first before other people believe in you. So do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in the vision that you are carrying? For you then to then believe in this continent. Because most of us, as I said, as was said in my introduction, that one of the key things that I've discovered is that most of us, we shoot ourselves in the foot. I know as Africa, we are well endowed with prayer. Praying and fasting. Right now, if we decide to do a challenge of praying and fasting, you'll be shocked. Yes, we are so very much good with that. But one of the key things that I've since realized is that we have so much self-sabotaging behaviors, and it starts with our beliefs. Right. So I want to ask you, what do you believe about yourself? Do you believe in the potential that you carry as an individual? As an individual. All right. So now let's move to the very first point I want to talk about. So for Africa to scale up to a greater level, one of the very first key things we need to move away from is what I call a victim mindset. Most of us, I don't know what nation you are in, but I feel like most of us, the youth of Africa, we are operating in victim mode. Yes, we are all victims of circumstances that we don't know of. Some of us of circumstances that we are just borrowing from other people. But I want us to take some time to reflect on this victim mentality that we have been living with, because I believe that as young people, we are the future, and we can never step into the future if we remain victims of the past. We need to move away from a victim mindset. And these are the characteristics of a victim mindset. Number one, it's a mindset that plays the blame game. Oh, yes. In Africa right now, if I ask each and every one of us to write the things that we are blaming certain people for in Africa, for the lack of development in Africa, you will be shocked. We might even cancel this live broadcast and people just complain for the next 2 hours. But this is the thing, the danger of the blame game is that you become a victim to that particular thing that you're blaming, especially if there's no solution that is coming out of it. You understand? So I want us as young people to move away from playing the blame game. You know, it's high time we move away from blaming the economy. if we really want to change Africa. Hello? Yeah, I said it. It's time we move away from blaming our leaders. Yeah, because one day you're going to become a leader. And what type of leader are you going to become? We need to move away from blaming circumstances, blaming our past. Listen, I'm tired of listening to young people. I was born poor, I was born this. At a certain age, we can listen to your story. But up until you get to a certain age, we won't be listening to you because we want results. Your children will not eat your background. Hello? So as a young person, I'm encouraging you to move away from the victim mentality of playing the blame game. That's number one. Move away from that. Number two is complaining. It's similar to the blame game, but right now, the toxicness that is on the internet right now with so many of us young Africans painting a bad narrative of Africa to the world. And then we question why, interestingly, a few weeks ago, we had one American celebrity coming to Zimbabwe. And this particular celebrity was shocked that she saw that in Zimbabwe we had a grocery store, like a proper grocery store. And to me, I was like, okay, it's not her fault because of the toxicness of what we say about our nation on the internet. How then can a person expect that we have a grocery store? People think that things are bad. You understand? So complaining is another thing that we need to be delivered from because most of us are victims to complaining. I call this complainapreneurship. Most of us, we are so very much good at manufacturing complaints but producing nothing. So very good at producing complaints. But when it comes to bringing results on the table, we can't. Hello, dear young African. Till when are you going to complain? I have always told people that at times, in as much as we would want to protest, but I don't think Africa is going to be changed by protesting. To a certain extent, it can work, but to a certain extent, it won't. There's something else that is required because we've been protesting, I don't know for how many years. These are things that we need to think about. Right. So those are the two things that we want to move away from: the victim mentality. Victims of the past, victims of situations that we don't know of. And this is the thing that I want you to do as a young African, is taking responsibility. This is where it starts. Taking responsibility. First of all, over the actions that you are taking. I always tell people that true success only becomes visible in our lives the day we take 100% responsibility for our lives. How then can we be responsible over a continent when we cannot take responsibility over our own personal lives? It's a huge tragedy. So we want to move away from the victim mentality and take responsibility. And I want us to embrace this new philosophy, which I call the victor mentality, where we are saying that this is a mindset, number one, that sees possibilities. What possibilities are you seeing in the space that you are in as much as you are complaining about a particular problem? But most of the problems, this is why you see that most of our problems as Africans, some of them are being solved by people in the West who are coming up with things. And we are willing to pay them, interestingly, for things that we can do on our own. Another person is coming, same problem you're complaining about. Another person is coming out there and solving it. We want you to see possibilities. It's a victor mindset. See possibilities. Number two, it's a mindset that seeks solutions. Solutions to problem. As young Africans, let's be problem solvers, not problem creators. I know that one is a deep one. Yes. The next thing is a victor mindset is a mindset that takes initiative. Go out there. Let's make things happen. Our speaker yesterday said that you need to get started, but starting without the only way you can start is if you decide to get into action, And I'm going to speak about as I'm going to end this, I'm going to speak about a little bit about Christianity as I end this, because that's my job also as a coach. At times we cast away devils that are not there, but I'm going to touch on that later on. Right. And then the next point that I want to talk about is on the aspect of self-leadership. Self-leadership. We have talked about the mindset, where we are saying we need to move away from a victim mindset and enter into a victor mindset, where we are saying we are becoming victors of the things that happened in the past. We are taking things to the next level, because that's the only way we'll go to the next level. But this starts at a personal level. Never desire to elevate a continent when you cannot elevate yourself at a personal level. This is why I say today I'm here to interrogate you, your life, and I want you to reevaluate some of the choices and decisions that you have been making. That's my job as a coach. And then point number 2 is I want to talk about leading yourself. And this is an aspect called self-leadership, where we are saying that the biggest problem that we have right now in Africa is the problem of leadership. Some of us, if we start talking about our leaders, some of us are not, we've got, it's questionable, So leading yourself. So self-leadership, I just define it as one's ability to lead themselves effectively. Are you leading yourself very effectively? So leading yourself comprises of 4 things. Number 1, leading yourself in terms of making good decisions and choices. The next one is making good habits, developing good habits. The next one is making good actions. And then the other one is developing a good character. One of the greatest things that has killed Africa is its own people who lack good characters. We as the young people, we are becoming the future of tomorrow. Someone looking at me today is going to become the president, is going to become a minister. What type of minister are you going to become? I've got that question for you. What type of minister are you going to become? What type of minister are you going to become? Lead yourself well. So I'm just going to share a few areas that you need to lead yourself well as an African, and areas that I want you to lead yourself well. Number 1, are you a person of integrity? Yes. Integrity is one of the key things that is lacking right now in most of our leaders. This is why you see certain corrupt deals happening. Integrity, we are saying your word is your bond. Can you deliver on the promises that you're making? Can people safely say that if he says he's coming at 11, he's definitely coming at 11? Integrity is doing what is right no matter the situation that you are in. Number 2 is, are you honorable? And then number 3 is, are you disciplined? One of the key things that I always tell people is that one of the key things that shapes you is what you are disciplined at. As a young leader, you want to lead the future. One day you're going to become a father. One day you're going to become a reputable person who, I know most of us already are fathers. Most of us maybe are already, CEOs, captains of industry, whatever. But this is the thing. Are you disciplined? The next thing is, are you honest? Honesty. That's one of the few things that is lacking. Leading yourself in terms of being honest. Some people, this is why it's easy for them to lie on a public space. Why? Because they are constantly lying to themselves. How can you, my God, how can you desire to be honest to a public, to all of us here, and you're constantly lying to yourself? Today I'm interrogating you, the person who wants to change Africa, because in the next 15 years, we are going to be looking at you as you are becoming the minister, as you are becoming a great CEO. Are you honest? Are you respectful? Respecting yourself. Do you respect yourself? You're complaining that our leaders don't respect us, but do you respect your own self? And then the last point that I want to touch on is, which is very, very important, is character. And that's one of the few things that is lacking. What is your character? What is your character like? What character are you developing? Character is what people say about you when you're not there, not what you think they say, they tell you you are. No, 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 no. It's what they say when you're not there. That's your character. That's your reputation. That's who you are. So the future of Africa right now is dependent on the characters that we, the young people, are developing right now, because we are going to be the leaders. What characters are we developing? And character is just a sum total. There's a statement that says that sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. I'm going to repeat that again. Sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. And then sow a character, reap a destiny. So everything is centered on this thing called character. Our destiny as Africa is centered on our personal characters. We, the people that are in Africa, no one else. As I said, Africa is only changed by us, not another man coming from somewhere. We might pray and fast all we want, but some of these prayers, we are praying for people who are coming and looting and taking our resources with them. Hello? It's time we wake up as Africans. Let's work on our characters. Because some of us, the moment we give you a public office, we are afraid. We cannot trust you with our money. We cannot trust you with our time. Character is one of the few things that is lacking. And today I'm interrogating some of us here. Let's work on our characters. Let's work on our characters. It is very, very important. And character is ultimately of your repeated, is a result of your repeated actions. The reason why we call someone a thief is because they have been repeatedly thieving, stealing. They have been repeatedly stealing. They have been repeatedly stealing for a while. And now we call them a thief. So I don't know what character you would want to be remembered by. But I'm challenging you to lead yourself in those things, the simple things. What is your character like? Are you a person of integrity? And as I'm about to finish off, because these were the things that I have been urged to share with Africa and the world today. One of the few things that I have learned over the years is that there is power in the words that you say. You know, as I mentioned when I was starting, and I'm going to just conclude by sharing my story. As I was studying, I mentioned that I was labeled a failure, you know. So I grew up believing that I'm a failure. You know, I was told by a particular teacher that I am a failure. And this is one of the few things that I want to tell someone who's listening in there. Someone's opinion of you doesn't have to be your reality. I think those are the words of, is it Les Brown, or who repeatedly used that quotation in some of his speeches, right? Someone's opinion of you doesn't have to be your reality, especially negative opinion of you. So I believe that I'm a failure since I was a child. I think I was around 7. Up until when I was 16, I told you about the statement that I saw of Henry Ford. And after I saw that statement, I started asking myself, am I really a failure? And from that day, I started working on the first thing, because one of the key things that I realized is, for me to change from this failure mode that I was operating, I need to first shift my mindset. And one of the key things that I used to shift my mindset was the words that I was constantly telling myself. I started telling myself at the age of 16, I am the best, I am a winner, I am destined for greatness, I am destined to impact. You know, one of the names that I call myself now is the coach of the nations. I didn't wait for anyone to start calling me that. I started calling myself that. What words are you saying about yourself? What words are you saying about Africa? What words are you saying about your continent? It starts with you, not another man in America. You. What are you saying about you? So I changed my own life by I started shifting my own life by changing the words I was saying about myself, from telling myself I'm a failure to I'm a success. And from then, when I was 16 years old to now, the rest is history. The rest is history. As you are looking at me right now, I have got 13 international coaching awards that are in my name. As you're looking at me right now, I host international, I run international programs. I have got an international platform. I've got a company that is running. Right. But this is the thing. I shifted my mindset. Shifted my mindset. And now I'm the one who's coaching other people. That guy who was told is a failure. I'm now the one coaching other people. So we need to shift our mindset, and we need to change the words that we are saying. And as I conclude, usually when I finish my talks, even when I'm doing a physical or an online session, I usually just tell people to just repeat these words after me. And I know some of you maybe might type these things in the comment section, or you can just repeat it as you are there at home. But this is the thing. Number one, I want you to say this. I am Africa is great. I want you to repeat that after me. I am great. I am the best. I am a winner. I am moving to great heights. I am responsible for shifting Africa. I want you to repeat it after me. I am a winner. I am more than a conqueror. I am a victor. I am a pace setter. I am transformational. I am changing Africa. I am a game changer. I am the best. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for awarding me this platform. I'm super excited. I will hand over to our host. But remember this. You are a victor. You are a winner. And lead yourself well. That's the only way we will change Africa. Thank you very much. Master Coach Tendai Mungati signing out from Zimbabwe.
If your hands are not too heavy, please a round of applause for Coach Mungate. Please a round of applause for him. That was a powerful presentation. A round of applause for him. Can I see your clapping emoji? Can I see your clapping emoji? A round of applause for our speaker. That was super amazing. That was mind-blowing. It was transformational, and that is what we are here to do, to be transformed, to be ignited, to change Africa. Can I see our clapping emoji? If your hands are not too heavy, please clap for our coach, Tenza Mungate. He did an amazing job. Please, a round of applause for him. We'll be taking a few questions shortly. But before that, let's recap what we got from our just concluded speaker. Right? If you must change Africa, you must begin from yourself. If you get that, I feel like you listen carefully, right? You must start the transformation from you, right? He said success is an attitude, right? You must be ready to imbibe that kind of attitude. So you need to ask yourself the question, what do you believe in? Do you believe in Africa? And before you believe in Africa, you must believe in yourself. So you must work on yourself. All right. So that's the first step. Believe in yourself. And then for us to build Africa, we must avoid what? We must avoid the blame game. We must avoid complaining. We must avoid, victimization. We should stop victimizing ourselves. We should stop victimizing ourselves, and that is how we can make Africa Great. And then he also said something that struck me. Reevaluate yourself before you can set out on a transformation of or a transformational journey. You want to build Africa, you want to do something impactful for Africa. Have you evaluated yourself? Do you know who you are? Because if you know who you are, you will know what you can do, right? It's not about what you can do, it's about who you are, because who you are will affect what you do. So you reevaluate yourself. Are you honorable? Are you disciplined? Are you honest? Ask yourself these questions. I want to see in the comment section, say, I am ready to transform Africa. And I will do that by transforming myself. Say, I am ready for a change. I will evaluate myself. I will evaluate myself. Please, if you have any questions, drop in the comment section. I'll be reading your question for our coach. If you have a question, please drop in the comment section while we read them to our coach, Tenda Mugate. Thank you so very much, sir, for that powerful section. It was mind blowing. I enjoyed every bit of it and I loved the energy. You didn't come here to motivate, but you came here to charge our spirits to be ready for the task ahead, because this is a task for us. It's a wake up call for us. And then we must be ready to evaluate ourselves, know our strength, and see how we can come together to build Africa, to make Africa a better place. So thank you so very much for that section. Please, I want you to hang around while we wait for questions from the audience. Thank you. Please drop your questions, drop your questions. As you do that, as you drop your questions, I want you to do something very quickly. You know, we all are Africans, and in one way or the other, we might have complained about a thing, we might have murmured about a thing. And you know what I want you to do now in the comment section? In the comment section, type those things you used to complain about and say you will stop complaining about them. Let's do that quickly. If you used to complain about education, if you used to blame the government, I want you to type that in the comment section that I will stop blaming the government. I will start doing this. Let's do that in the comments. I'm going to be reading. I'm going to be reading that out. I will stop doing this and I will start doing this. Let's see that in the comment section. Yes. Let's see that in the comment section. Let's see that in the comment section. I want to see who's the first person I'm going to read the comments today. I would stop blaming Nigeria government. I would start creating, or I'll start doing. The coach is laughing. I will stop blaming Nigeria government, and I will start creating school outreaches to better the education. I will stop blaming Nigeria government. I will look for how to be a better entrepreneur. That is how we create change. We must change our belief system. We must configure our minds to think rightly, right? Mindset is about reconfiguration of mind. So how is your mental state? How is your mind? You need to start reconfiguring it, that you are a solution bringer. You're a pace setter. And as such, you stop complaining. Now, let me tell us, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for our questions, please. I'm waiting for our questions, please. Do we have any questions or question? Thank you very much. I hope you are following. If you are following, please drop in the comment section. I am following. Drop in the comment section that I am following. If you're following this, it's been an amazing time. So I want you to drop in the comment section your favorite emoji. In fact, drop the fire emoji. I love the fire emoji so much. And I want you to drop the fire emoji because it shows the energy. It shows the energy. Drop the fire emoji in the comment section while we wait for questions, right? And while we also wait for our second speaker to be on board, if there is no question. Any question? Any question for... In fact, it seems all of you, everyone has gone back to their drawing board. Everybody's mapping. How are they going to transform their nation? Is that why there's no question? Have you all gone back to your drawing board? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Am I audible? Am I audible? Can you guys hear me? So
Yes, we can hear you.
this one I'm not seeing questions. Have you gone back to your drawing board to sketch how you be
All right. It seems we lost our host anyway. The moderator is having some technical issues or something. Are we together?
Yes, we are together.
All right. It seems we're having some technical issues. Okay, he's back already. Thank you so much.
Okay, so sorry for that. I think I am experiencing some network glitch, but I believe all is well now. I want us to, if you have a question, please drop in the comment section, right? While we attend to just two questions. If you have a question, please drop in the comment section. Drop in the comment section. As we do that, I want us to type in the comment section those things we'll stop doing and those things we'll start doing. I give an example. I said I will stop blaming the Nigeria government and I will start creating or having school outreach to improve education. So I want you to do the same in the comment section. What are those things you're going to stop doing? Right? What are those things you're going to stop doing? And what are those things you're going to start doing? That is how we can provide solution to our continent. You know what? Blame. I'm waiting for. Okay, there's a question. There's a question for you, sir. The question is, how do we get to change the things around us when the leadership isn't giving you the room to do so? How do you change the things around us? How do we change that when the leadership isn't giving us the opportunity or the room to do that? Over to you, sir.
All right. Interesting question. I knew a question like this was going to come. Yeah, especially to do with leadership, not giving you an opportunity to maybe initiate the change. Right. So one of the key things that I want to start off by saying is that we are talking about changing things around us. All right. And I'm sure. Sorry about that. All right. So this is the thing. When we are not getting an opportunity by when the leaders are not giving us an opportunity to change the atmosphere of maybe a certain thing, and you're feeling, you know what, I myself, I can change this. You know what? One of the few things we need, number one, is patience as young people. Rome was never built in one day. To be honest, and at times we just need to be patient, even for when we are going to get the opportunity to change. Because this is the thing. Yes, we might want the opportunities, right? But realistically, the person who is seated on the seat might not want to give you the opportunities. So how do we go about it? So this is the thing. It's about being, at times, in as much as we want to change things, let's also remember that there is this thing called common sense. Don't try to run away from common sense in wanting to initiate change. So what am I saying? What I'm encouraging you is to be patient, and I define patience as not the ability to wait, but I'm saying ability to contain emotions while waiting. Because one of the few things that many a times us as young people, the reason why at times we are not trusted by our elders up there is because of our emotional, because at times they are seeing us as over ambitious, this young man, too much energy. At times you need to really prove yourself that you can actually do this. So it requires you to be patient. It requires you to be patient. I still remember, I've got a personal story. I was in the junior council in my town called Rua. And, there were so many things that we wanted to do at that particular time to change Rua. We were so energetic, but this is the thing. At that point in time, yes, we had good initiatives, but at times it's about how we wanted to initiate some of these things. So, first of all, number one, I want you to be patient. Number one, I want you to really ask yourself, why are we not getting the opportunity? Why are we not getting the opportunity from this particular leadership? I also want, as I said, at times we need to reflect on ourselves first before we start pointing at them. They are not giving us the opportunity. No, look at yourself. Are you really worth the opportunity? Have you proven yourself that you are worth the opportunity, that you can change people's lives? So first of all, let's be patient. Number two, let's prove ourselves that we are worth this opportunity. These elders, they can't just give you an opportunity to run a community or to run a project when they have not seen that you're worth it. So those are some of the dynamics. I think I answered this question in two ways. From the leader side, what happens, and then from our own side. But we need to exhibit patience. Our time is going to come. But even as we are waiting for that time to come, let's be patient. Let's be strategic. As I said, at times protesting will never solve anything. So if the leaders just see you protesting, they're like, this young man. So how we change things at times, it requires patience and coming up with different strategies on how we can solve some of these problems that Africa is facing. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you very much, sir, for that beautiful answer. That was explicit. So I believe that question has been answered and justice has been done to that question. Evaluate yourself. You must tread with patience and be strategic with whatever you want to do. Thank you very much for that, for the answer to that question, sir. Without further ado, we would be welcoming our next speaker. Because of time factor, we will not be entertaining another question. So we're bringing on board our next speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready because another powerful section is about to start. And if you've not followed through the section, I want you to start now. If you're just joining us, you're welcome. You're welcome. I want you to pay keen attention to this next section.
Jubilee Inovo Yuvombo is the licensing officer for the National Child and Youth Care Workers Association. Her job is to ensure that youth forums run in all 9 provinces. She organizes, executes, and facilitates youth forums and coordinates activities. For the past 12 years, Jubilee has built stakeholder relationships to ensure the youth are involved in advocacy work. To achieve this, she monitors and evaluates work to ensure the quality of the programs are exemplary and adjusts the goals if necessary. Jubilee has a BA honor in psychology, a Bachelor of Social Science majoring in psychology and criminology, and a certificate in civic leadership. The 26-year-old officer has numerous awards under her belt, including the Young Women Peace Builders Award presented to her in 2022. Jubilee's activism is recognized nationally, and she forms part of international advocacy as well. She is among a few young people representing South Africa in the BRICS Forum and often joins United Nations consultation meetings and Commonwealth forums representing South Africa and Africa. She has consulted on the National Development Plan, the National Action Plan, and internationally the Women, Peace and Security focal points. But her achievement comes with a price. Jubilee said she would advise her younger self to take the precious moment in. With all travelings Jubilee does, she would also advise her younger self to spend time with family, and it shouldn't be taken for granted. She will also advise her younger self to get mentors. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Jubilee Vombo.
Good evening, good evening. I am so excited to be joining this evening. Thank you so much for an amazing introduction. I would like to just continue with the presentation. Thank you so much once again for affording me this opportunity to be here amongst African great leaders. Wow, the lineup is jam-packed, and I am super excited to be here, super excited and motivated to be here. Please do type in the comment section to say, I hear you, leader. I hear you, so I'm able to know that we are on the same wavelength. Thank you so much for trusting me with this platform. To all our African leaders, thank you so much for trusting me with your platform. Thank you very much for making sure that even I am in. So thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, and as well as our leaders, African leaders, thank you so much for this wonderful time. I will just somewhere go into the topic that we are talking about to say that the vision of our founding fathers, which is unity in our diversity. And that is what I will be talking about this evening, to say unity in our diversity. There is unity in our diversity. So wherever you are tuning from, do know that there's an opportunity for us to experience unity in our diversity. What I'm going to be speaking about is that as leaders, we are born for such a time as this. We are born for such a time as this. And I love the previous speaker was speaking. My apologies for forgetting his name. But one of the things that he mentioned was that we need leaders who are going to stand the test of time. And so as we are leaders, as we are saying that we want to stand for unity in our diversity, we also need to look at the fact that we need to be able to stand the test of time. I am a young woman peace builder in my country, but I know that a lot of people are looking at me and saying, we are waiting for her to 1040. We are waiting for her to 1050. Then she'll be able to tell us what she means by community peace building. So I know that a lot of leaders, they start off very energetic. You know, when they're still young, they start off energetic. But I just want to say that we need leadership that will stand the test of time. And I mean this with everyone involved, right? In all African countries, we need leaders who will stand the test of time. And that takes courage and it takes boldness to be able to stand the test of time. I'm also saying that in unity, in our diversity, we need both the young and the old, right? We need young leaders who are able to be relevant to the current generation, who are able to bring solutions to the current era, who are able to be solution orientated, who are able to actually implement practical solutions that are relevant to this time and age. But we also need people as well who have the wisdom, who have the knowledge, who have the skills and the experience in building peace in our African countries. And so when we talk about leaders, we want people who are actually at the forefront, right? We need the wisdom of the elderly, and we also need the energy and the and the relevance of young leaders. And so there is also unity that is needed between the two, to say that young and old, we can both work together, and to say that, you know, there is room for collaboration, there is room for partnership, there is room for us to come together and work together for the betterment of our African countries, to make sure that as Africa we stand bold and strong, courageous, and represent our continent, you know, at the top with all the other continents, to see that, you know what, there's something new that the African countries can do. I mean, when we look at media, we see how Africa is portrayed. You know, they don't show us in terms of technology. They don't show us at the forefront of medicine. They don't show us at the forefront of technology or even AI. And this is also because, you know, we need leaders who are relevant for this time and era, right? So we can definitely, yes, I'm loving this. We need practical solutions relevant to this time and age. Most definitely, we need young people who are able to bring in practical solutions that are relevant to today's age, right? There are so many solutions that we can bring across our countries that I know that for now we do not have it, but I know that we have young people who are capable. And I believe that young people are here tonight who are capable to bring change within our communities. And the reason why, leaders, you are joining this platform tonight, it is because you actually have a vision for your country. You have a vision even for Africa, to say that this is where I see Africa in the next 5 or 10 years, right? And we can make it. We can definitely make it, right? And so in my work as a peace builder, I try and fight for peace building wherever I go. And I believe that even here, there are peace builders, leaders who are passionate about building peace. And when you're passionate about building peace, you need to know that you have to stand the test of time. I love that question, to say that, how then do we stand the test of time? How do we bring leaders who can stand the test of time? And that is having great mentorship, right? One of the things that I am very, very passionate about is having people who pass on the baton to us, and who actually say that, hey, once they are out of the system, they can say that, you know what, I am not going to throw away the ladder that got me here. Who can say, hey, I'm going to hold this ladder so that someone else can be stable enough to climb up this ladder, right? And so we need leaders, we need African leaders who can do that. People who will not destroy the system first before they leave the system. People who will not leave the system in shambles before they leave. We joke about it in Africa to say that, when a leader is leaving, because they will leave corruption behind, they will leave chaos behind, they will leave the system in chaos for the next leader. And so we don't want that. If we want our leaders to stand the test of time, if we want our leaders to serve energetically, it means that we must keep our systems in place, and we must keep our morale in place, right? And so that is how we get leaders who are relevant to our time, who are relevant to our space, who can also, stand the test of time. And it takes boldness. It takes courage, right? One of the things that we fought for, I remember in my community peace building, we had to submit, we had to make a submission to the United Nations on um people who are living in foster care, people who are living in alternative care, whether be it in foster care, be it in residential care, orphanages, different facilities by the nation and also by the government. And we're to say that, when you take this person who's 18 years old, who does not have an identity document, who does not have any papers, how are they going to survive, right? And so we fought for that, right? And so I want to ask us as leaders here, what are you fighting for? What is the cause that you're fighting for? Because we need unity in our diversity. If you are saying, I'm going to fight that in the education system we improve our education, then we need someone who's going to say, I have practical solutions for agriculture. We need another young leader who's going to say, hey, when it comes to machinery, you can trust me. I have got this pillar on hold, right? And so we need to stand our ground, but we need unity. We need unity in the diversiveness that we have within our leadership, right? We need all pillars. We need all pillars. Ladies and gentlemen, we need all pillars to make sure that we are actually there and we are making it win, right? So we need leaders in agriculture. You matter. If you're a leader in agriculture, you matter. Type in the chat box, I matter as a leader. I matter as a leader. I matter as a leader, right? Because we need unity. When we call for unity, we are calling to say that as a leader, we need unity in our spaces, in our fields. If you are a leader in technology, you are relevant and we need you. You are very relevant and we need you. If you're a leader in AI, we need you and you are relevant. Yes, leader, I matter as a leader. You matter. I remember, when we were doing community peace building in my own country, it would feel like it's such an exhaustive experience, the consultations, the back and forth, the red tape. It is so challenging. The red tape is crazy. I understand the frustration of our leaders when they ask, how do we do this, without government, without placing blame on the government. I understand, because I've been there. As a young leader, you are there, you are trying to implement change, but there is so much red tape. There is so much red tape, right? But even when there is so much red tape, I can tell you, leaders, that if we come together and we are united. I love what Mohammed, our leader, is saying, to say unity is the key. If we come together, we can make sure that we abolish some of the red tape that is unnecessary, and in order for us to actually lead our continent to greater heights, right? So it starts with us, policy making. We need leaders, not just in agriculture. We don't just need leaders in AI. We don't just need leaders in machinery. We don't need leaders only in education. We also need leaders as well, even in policy and legislation, right? We need leaders in all aspects. Everyone stand your ground, hold your pillar and stand your ground. We need different people stationed in their pillars so that we are able to move Africa forward. And so we are saying, as emerging leaders, we have a vision that we will be united in our diversity. And being united in our diversity means that we ought to acknowledge the needs that we have. What are some of the needs that Africa has today? There are so many needs that we have, right? Our cities are blooming, but some of our villages are remaining behind, right? And so we also need to also think about ways where we can decentralize, opportunities that are in the cities, to bring them back also to the villages, to the farm areas, to the locations, to the townships, to bring them back to the squatter camps, to bring them back to the people who are on the ground, who are at grassroots level, right? When we speak of unemployment, leaders, we are also speaking about it is a situation that is waiting for us as leaders to come with a solution. And so we need to come up and hold a square. We need to come up and hold a pillar to say, hey, I am a leader who is going to turn this solution into an employment opportunity for young people, an employment opportunity for people within my community, right? To say every business, if a business comes into our communities, to say that this business must employ a certain number of young people within our locations. This way we are able to move forward within our communities, we are able to move forward within our spaces, right? So we need unity. And every leader in here is born for such a time as this. Leaders, I want to say that you were born for such a time as this, right? Please write in the comment section, I was born for such a time as this. I was born for such a time as this. Most of us think that we would be effective, we would be more effective if we were born at a different time. But that is not true. We are born in this era because this is the era where you are relevant. This is the era where you would have the most impact on people. This is the era where you would make sense to the people. You were born for such a time as this. We are all born for such a time as this. There is, the field is ripe. In South Africa, we say the field is ripe. To say that the field is ripe, there are opportunities that are waiting for young leaders. Some of the opportunities that are waiting for us, they are not just waiting for us to grab them. They are there. They are dressed in work clothes. They are dressed in overalls. These opportunities that are waiting for us leaders, they are not looking like opportunities at the moment. They look like overalls. They are coming in looking like hard work, right? But we need to be able to identify opportunities, and that is what I am here to say. To say that as we speak about unity in our diversity, we need to know that we need leaders who can stand the test of time. We need leaders who are bold and courageous. We need leaders who can identify opportunities which are dressed in overalls. Not everything is going to look pretty, leaders. Not everything is going to look fancy. Serving our continent, serving Africa, emerging as African leaders is not going to look pretty. It's not. Some of it will not have Instagrammable moments. It will not have cute moments, as we call them. Being a leader is a lot of hard work. It is a lot of hardship. It is asking, basically signing up to see how ungrateful certain people are. But we are born for such a time as this. Leaders, we are born for such a time as this. in Zimbabwe, in Botswana, in South Africa, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Kenya, everywhere, all of us united together today. We are born for such a time as this, and we need unity in our diversity. If we are struggling to find common ground, because unity comes in when we realize that we have common ground. If we start having the same vision, if we start having the same mission, if we are saying that we are going to come in, we are going to emerge as African leaders, but we are going to come in one heart and one accord, then we can win. Then we will be the dream team that makes the dream work, right? So we need that unity to say that with our differences, what is in our differences is actually what makes us unique, and that enables us to come together as leaders to make sure that we have a greater impact in our society. There are so many issues that we can speak about leaders. I want you to take a moment to say, where are the areas where I can actually bring change in my community? Where are the areas where I can actually advocate for peace in my community? Let us have a moment as we think about it. What is the area? Are you a leader in agriculture? Are you a leader in finance? Leaders are struggling to get finance for their businesses. Leaders are struggling to get finances for their projects. They want to move countries further. They want to move Africa forward, but the red tape is too much. We need leaders in finance. We need leaders in banking. We need leaders in institutions that help us to get the funding that we need. And so I want us to question ourselves today as emerging leaders to say, which area am I holding up? Which pillar am I standing on? Right? Which pillar am I holding up and which pillar am I standing on? Is it agriculture? Is it finance? Is it banking? Is it landmarks? Is it mining? Is it technology? Is it AI machinery? Is it education? Is it arts? Is it arts and culture? Is it social development? Is it community development? Is it technology? Where are we standing our ground, leaders? Because we need to stand our ground. Remember, we were born for such a time as this, and there is no progress when we have not even discovered which pillar we are holding up, right? When a leader is elected, most of the time, especially if it's an overall leader, when we talk about presidents, you find that there are certain departments, government departments that are lacking. It is because most of the time the leaders are not passionate about that department. Outside of corruption, sometimes it's because the passion is not there. You find that in the country, the mining is doing well, but the oil industry is poor. You find that the oil industry is doing well, but education is suffering. It is because we do not have passionate leaders who are passionate about those pillars. And so when we get leaders who are passionate about those pillars, we need to uplift them. And so when we talk about unity here, we're talking about us coming together as a whole to say, you know what, if you are holding up agriculture, then I am going to hold up um I'm going to hold up the writing literature in my country. If we are talking about community peace building, I will hold up community peace building and you will hold up education. That way we are able to win. When someone is holding up education, someone is holding up the education department, the literature department in our countries, right? Some of the things that we are struggling with as African leaders, it is documenting our trials and our successes. It is documenting our history. Most of us are not documenting our struggles and our history. I want to learn about Nigerian leaders and how they are actually doing their work. I want to learn about solutions that are being implemented in Mozambique. I want to learn about solutions that are being implemented in Zambia, and how I can actually implement those in South Africa, right? As African leaders, there is so much room for us to learn from one another. If we can only also learn to document our progress, even our failures, to say, you know what, this is where I succeeded, but this is also where I struggled. And in that way, we are able to move together towards a society that is rich in communication that is rich in experience, as well as documentation, that we may not repeat the mistakes of the past generation, right? So, as African emerging leaders, we have so much responsibility. And I definitely believe that we can actually achieve this. Again, leaders, I want to say, you are born for such a time as this. You are born for such a time as this. You are born for such a time as this, right? Do know that you are born for such a time as this. I thank you so much. I think that there will be time now for questions. Leader, please do assist as we.
Hello. If you can hear me, signify in the comment section. Thank you so very much, Mom, for that wonderful section. If you can hear me, signify in the comment section. A round of applause for.
Since we're having, we still have our moderator there, please. Since we're having some kind of technical issues or breaking transmission from his end, I hope we are good. Is everyone there? All right, at the moment, before we would like to take your questions from the comment section, please. If you have any question, you can go ahead to drop them. You can go ahead to drop them, please. Go ahead to drop your questions. If you have any questions, please send in your questions while our speaker will attend to your question. But in the meantime, how are you feeling about the conference so far? How are you feeling? I hope you're getting impacted. I hope you're getting up to your knowledge. I know that. I want to know that we are not alone here because I'm not seeing any of your comments, please. Are we together? Please, can I see your comments in the sections, please? Let me know that you're here. All right. All right, please. Drop in your question. I think our second speaker just left the stage at the moment. There was breaking transmission, but I believe they'll be back anytime soon. Please drop in your question while we wait for the third speaker to take over this. Okay, she's back. She's back. Please go ahead to drop your questions. Please, Ma'am Jubilee, if you're there, if you can hear me. Okay, if you can hear me, we have.
Yes, leader, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much for that wonderful section. It was really enlightening and encouraging to sit up as an African person or born in Africa. So we are so delighted to have you here today. And one of the things that is giving us joy is the fact that women are making waves in this and what we call impact in Africa. So thank you so very much. So the question we have here for you on the comment section says, in a world of technology and digitalization, how do we take advantage of that to unite in upholding the vision of our founding fathers?
Thank
Okay,
you so
Rita.
much for the wonderful. Thank you so much for the wonderful question. Um, I think that there is no better time than now. My apologies, leaders, for the light. I think there is no better time than now. When we are looking, technology and digitization has actually helped us to connect. I mean, when we're talking about this, sometimes I speak about leaders who would never had the opportunities that we have today. And so it is very easy for us to talk about technology and digitization. We can start by having meetings like this. Having joined in already, I am excited that I can actually even have the opportunity to come together with other leaders in this space who are doing amazing work. So technology has helped us to connect with other leaders. It has helped us to get mentorship from other leaders, other African leaders. Technology has now even helped us to connect at a moment's notice with other leaders. I mean, just today, the number of calls I was getting from different countries, it's absolutely amazing. And it's because of certain apps that have helped us to say, hey, this is how you can connect quick, easy, fast, and also efficient, right? So, digitization is the way to go. And we can use apps like Google Meet, Zoom, Teams, even StreamYard to have our meetings. All of these can help us to take advantage of this era of technology, right? We can also develop our own African apps, websites, where we come together and we do the work of community peace building, of building our communities, of building our networks. One of the things that I know that a lot of people use is Teams, right? They create teams at Microsoft Teams, and they basically create networks. So now you know that when it comes to education, for example, you now know that when you have education, you can actually speak to Jubilee. You know that when we are talking about literature, you can speak to faith. Things like that, right? They are there to actually make sure that we are improving as leaders, that we are doing well as leaders, that we know that we have absolutely amazing work that we have in store for all the countries that are around us. And so, as African leaders, we have the responsibility to use these apps, to use this technology, to use this digitization to actually benefit us, right? So let's do it that way. I'm not sure if your question is answered, but I just gave examples of platforms that you can use, social media platforms that you can use in order to connect with other industry leaders, for platforms platforms that will help us, that will make sure that we are winning, that will make sure that we are able to actually uh, complete the vision, the mission of our forefathers, our founding fathers, which is extremely important, right? And not just using these social media platforms just so that we can connect, but having a vision. What is the vision? What are we trying to achieve? What is the mission? What are we trying to achieve? What are we trying to actually get? What is the outcome that we are hoping for, right? What is the objective that we are willing to actually put our lives down for, even, right? So we are not saying here that we are standing and we are using all the social medias for nothing. No, we are saying that we are using the social medias, but we understand the vision, we understand the mission, we understand the outcomes we are hoping for, and the objective we are running with, right? To say that our founding fathers would definitely be inspired by some of the things that we have done with what they already started, right? But unity in diversity has to have a meaning. There's supposed to be a chord. When we speak of a net not breaking, it's because there's a certain chord that is holding everything together, and that is us. We have to stand in one accord. Thank you, leader. I don't know if there are other questions.
Right, well, I think that will be very briefly. Thank you very much for giving a very hit point on that question. It was very, very, very clear. And now that this will be the very last question for your section, and I think it's going to be very brief, so we can move to the next segment. So someone said in the comment section, in uniting in uniting in diversity to uphold the vision of our founding fathers, do we forego our own visions?
This is an incredible question. My leader. This is such an incredible, and please forgive me for the lighting. Yeah, it's unstable. But this is such an incredible question, and I'm loving it. There is a way in which we unite, and I love this topic on unity. When we talk about unity, when we are bringing in two different visions, we are not saying that you let go of your own vision. We are saying that two visions can become one. We are saying that in one vision you can find, and my apologies, my network is giving me challenges. But I'm saying that in the vision that we have, leaders, you can find your own space, you can find your space, whatever vision we're improving. Example, it means that then we are also talking about leaders who are going to come in for sports. We're talking about leaders who will come in for technology. So there is so much that you can do with just one vision. You can find your own part in that vision. That also goes along with your own vision. So yes, there is space for you, and also collaboration. There are certain things in the vision that you will not be able to do, but another leader can. So you hold your own pillar, they hold their own pillar. That way we move together with one pillar, with two pillars, contributing to one vision. I thank you, leader. I hope that makes sense.
Thank you. That was awesome to the question. Thank you very much. It was very clear. Like, thank you very much. We really appreciate you. And chasing the vision of uniting our founding fathers, we are not to forget our own vision because it's still through our visions that we have been energized to face or to chase the vision of our founding fathers. Thank you very much. It was really a nice section with you. And we hope to have you more in Africa Emerging Leaders Conference and entirely in our community because I believe you've got so much that the youth of Africa will be longing to learn from. Thank you so very much. On behalf of this organization and Africa at large, we want to say thank you for joining us for tonight. The section was so impactful and educative, and we hope God continue to energize you. Till we see you again because oftentimes we'll keep on inviting you. Please, before you leave, can you mention your social media handles in all platforms? Because our listeners would want to follow you to also learn more from you from time to time.
Thank you so much, leader. This has been an incredible experience. I've also been learning so much as I was joined in. Leaders can definitely get me at Jubilee Bombo, the same spelling. Jubilee Bombo on Facebook, Jubilee Bombo on Insta, Jubilee Bombo on Facebook, Jubilee Bombo on LinkedIn, um, YouTube, Jubilee Bombo. So basically, it's just my name and surname, and you can just get me on all platforms by just using that name, Jubilee Wombo.
All right, thank you very much. By the way, very beautiful name, and our viewers and our participants will definitely have to follow you. So as you all are listening, you can go ahead to all the social media platforms to search for Jubilee Lubombo. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that very well, but I would say it's a very beautiful name.
You did well.
Very much for joining us,
You did
and
well, leader.
we appreciate you. We hope to see you some other time.
Thank you very much, leader, and thank you to all the leaders. I hope to connect with you all. I thank you so much for trusting me with your platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure, ma'am. All right, moving to the next segment, we are back. As you can see, we are really making progress for today's program, and I hope you're excited. It's been awesome and a wonderful time and an experience learning from all the leaders across African continent. And these are people who've been looking up to. And I know you're learning so much. Please don't stay off the hook on this channel because the next minute to be bringing to you another exceptional woman who has transformed the life of so many in Africa. So at this moment, we'll be welcome. If you have any question, please, you can keep on piling up the question. Maybe as time goes on, it can be answered in the community. And don't forget, that we have different communities of Africa Emerging Leaders Conference, depending on your own countries. So please do well to join your community after this conference so that you can keep on benefiting from this organization. Thank you very much. And the meantime, we'll be welcoming the next speaker. That will be our third speaker and the last speaker for today. And maybe you stay with us and you behold the exceptional woman that will be on stage. Please, let's welcome Ms. Faith on stage, please.
Faith Tetharo is a certified image consultant, member of the IAPO International Association of Professional Image Consultants, and founder of the Fataro Image and Consult. She helps individuals and corporate entities enhance their personal and corporate brands by managing their appearance, helping them communicate effectively, have good etiquette, and great digital footprints. This is done through one-on-one coaching mentorship and executive training and workshops. Faith has been invited as a speaker in an area of expertise at numerous events in her country and beyond. She served prominent brands in her nation as well. She's also a corporate event master of ceremony with experience in hosting high-profile events. Furthermore, she is a female country representative for Mogi Global Leadership School Graduate Center in Uganda. Her social impact arm is the Women Powerhouse Initiative, helping ladies to unleash their potential for purposeful living. She is a lover of people. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Faith Tetharo.
Smiling and smiling and smiling broadly. I could not stop smiling. Thank you so much. That was quite an introduction. At some point, I'm like, ooh, is that me, right? So thank you so much, Miss Loveland, Miss Chiamaka, and the president of this initiative. I appreciate you for setting up an amazing lineup of speakers. I mean, across Africa, should I say across the globe? That's me inclusive. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I also want to appreciate you for what you are doing for people out there. The impact that you're making in the lives of Africans and beyond is really commendable. And from my heart, I really celebrate it because where impact is, where transformation is, where selflessness is, my heart is always filled with joy. I always feel fulfilled. So I know it takes a lot of sacrifice, it takes selflessness, it takes understanding your purpose, it takes a lot, commitment for all of you to pull this off together. So this is really genuine. I celebrate what you are doing, and I'm certain that the impact can only increase and increase, and you can only go upward and forward only as this community. Yes, the introduction has already said everything. Faith Fitara, I'm from Uganda. I'm an image consultant and founder of Fitara Image and Consults. That's what I'll focus on for now because what I'm going to share is in line with that. I would basically pose a question. You know, how would you? I mean, all of us have been in different scenarios out there. Of course, we relate with people. And how many of you would be there, especially if you were with people and someone probably responded to you in a tone that was not right, or someone probably was chewing gum in public and his or her mouth was open, and they were just talking in that bit of it. Or what would happen? I know many of you here are professionals. What would happen if probably you were an interviewer and someone probably showed up in the hoodies and didn't groom themselves and they wanted that particular responsibility or job? Well, I'm asking all these scenarios and different questions because, in a life where we relate with one another, in a life where we're interacting with one another out there, no matter where you come from, it's important for us to be mindful of how we present ourselves. This is something which became a burden for me along the way. I just realized I had a passion to help people to know who they are, to understand their passions and their purpose, to know what they stand for, and from there to help them build their personal brands or corporate brands. So when I got on that journey, I realized that we actually can make more impact when we show up in the best version of ourselves. When our image is right, we get the opportunity to be really confident. When I talk about image, someone might ask, she's saying image, image, image. What is image, right? Because some people, when I say I'm an image consultant, some think about photos or pictures. Here's the thing. Every moment, every time we meet people or we are interacting with people, we are leaving impressions on them, we're leaving marks on them. Someone might look at you and in just 7 seconds and they form the opinion about you because of how you look. Another one might offer you an opportunity or not based on how you're interacting on that dining table. So all these things are extremely powerful to who we are as professionals and even in our personal lives. So why would I say why image before I even dive deep into the facets of image? Because we're looking at evolving, especially as Africans, but beyond that, how we can go back to our roots. I know our forefathers definitely, I'm certain, their heart was for us as Africans to shine in the best way possible. Their heart was out there for us to have certain values in us, communicate with respect. As you can see in our culture, sometimes Africans, you kneel down when you are speaking to people. That is respect. You understand? But I'm going to come deeper into that because that's what enhancing your professional personal image does to you. You get to respect people. It gives you the opportunity to, because in this world, we don't relate alone. No man is an island. We're relating with other people. So when we are relating with people, it's important that we learn how to relate with them, that we make them feel comfortable around us. And that is what enhancing your image does for you. It makes you relate with people in a respectable manner. It helps you to make people comfortable around you. That is what it does. And whether we know it or not, our image speaks for us every time, and your brand is always speaking for you, image is speaking for you. And yes, one of the benefits of enhancing your personal professional image or brand is confidence. It gives you confidence. Trust me, when you are, let me give you an example. Think about the times where you really dress so smartly and you move into that room, you feel like you can even take over the whole world in those minutes, right? Or and everyone is all telling you, oh my God, you look so good. And in your head, you're like, yeah, you understand? You feel like you own everything. That's confidence right there. Or maybe you go to dine and you know how to use the cutlery right, you have the right dining manners, you're confident in that dining space. You'll go for that networking event, you will relate with people properly, or even as you communicate to people, you're confident, right? it helps you as a person. I've learned the art to actually speak to strangers. I do it so effortlessly. Approach people with confidence, speak to them. That's because I've learned to work on myself, and that gives me confidence to show out there. And whatever profession you're in, or in whatever you do, whether you're self employed or you're employed, whichever category you're in, having an improved personal professional image helps you have that confidence in that you can really do everything the way you should do them. So it helps you live. Let me summarize this. It helps you with confidence. It helps you to respect others and live amicably with every other person. And number three, working on your personal professional image. How, it spreads your influence and expands your networks. Assuming your online presence or your online platforms are beautifully optimized, everything is professional, you're creating content every now and then, you're building your brand. I'm talking about the online bit of it. Especially now, the online space gives us an opportunity to connect with people beyond our nations, whether it's Facebook or whether it's LinkedIn, and now LinkedIn everywhere, people literally need it. I'm going to come deeper into that. But those things can expose you and give you access to certain kinds of networks. And you get to spread your influence just because you're projecting the right image. Number four, I would say improving your personal professional image definitely helps to increase your impact. I know this is what this conference is all about, and all of you here, our convener, the Mr. President, and all the community and team members, all the leadership members, plus the team members, their heart beats for impact, right? And you can see whatever they're doing is very professional. So that definitely goes ahead to tell you that you get to impact more when you've worked on your image, because you can reach more people, you can reach out to people more confidently, you can do so much more. Now, now that I've given you why someone would work on their image is that I have encountered so many people, because the nature of my work basically is about helping individuals and corporate entities to enhance their brands or their personal professional image, first of all through appearance, and then through communication, and then through etiquette and their digital footprint. That's how I help people enhance their brands. So, in that light, permit me to share with you, break those bits down on how you can actually use that to evolve, to expand your influence as a great African, and also how this can relate to our forefathers. Coming to appearance, appearance is okay. I would say so much about appearance. Like I said earlier, someone can meet you just in 7 seconds and they're already forming their judgment of you just because of how you look or how you show up. That is it. We have no control over it, but that's how life is. Or it could even be you. You see someone, you're like, why are they dressed like this? I don't think they deserve this. You understand? It's like a human instinct or something. So, appearance is important. It goes to the extent of how do you show up in the different spaces where you show up. All right. What kind of colors are you having? You see, there's something called color analysis when it comes to styling, in that you can wear a color. And have you ever worn, actually, let me pose this question, maybe someone can think about it. Have you ever worn an outfit in a certain color, and everywhere you reached, someone would ask you if you're sick or you're tired? You see, based on our skin undertones, we're able to have, different colors work on different people perfectly. So styling yourself basically goes back to that. So, coming back to our appearance and focusing on the part of relating to our forefathers and also unity in our diversity, how does appearance come in this? Assuming I am in different spaces, and maybe in different cultures and everything, There are things like your, oh, someone is struggling to hear me. Is it better now? Maybe if I can be notified. Is it better now? Are you hearing me much better? Okay, there's no response, so I'm not quite certain if my volume is much better. But in that light, permit me to continue. So when it comes to appearance, number one, I've tried to increase my volume, right? Yeah, I didn't want to shout. So when it comes to appearance, how you show up, assuming maybe you went for a speaking engagement and you know that the people who are going to be in that audience are quite diverse. What are you going to dress up in? Are you going to wear something which might offend some people's cultures or where they come from, or you're going to wear something that relates with everyone? For example, I am a lady. That means definitely decency is key for me, especially as a person, by the way. It's part of my values. But then when it comes to this, how do I show up? Especially in professional spaces, it's just important to be decent. Even when it's not professional spaces, it's just okay to be decent. That goes back to our forefathers. But then at the same time, it still helps you. My goodness, I'm literally shouting, so I don't know how much I'm going to shout. I'm literally shouting right here. Okay, just give me. Oh my god. Okay. I didn't move with my microphones. Maybe it would have helped, but I usually move with my mics, but I didn't move with it. So just permit me to share this. Hope it's much better. If it's not much better, maybe I might have to remove my video and just speak on the microphone alone. At the end of the day, what's most important is that what is being shared is received, right? Yeah, so yeah, back to the bit of appearance. Okay, thank you so much for that. Thank you. So back to appearance. So it's important how I show up. How I show up, relating it to how our forefathers are, and then relating to unity and diversity. Things like decency would work, especially. And it literally shows you, especially when it comes to your image, it shows that you are someone who is serious. It communicates that you are someone who respects others, who shows up in the right spaces, especially when it comes to the professional spaces or when you're relating with people who are in other cultures. So that's very important. And I would bring it to the place of maybe what if you went for an interview just dressed the way you wanted, or you're in a casual outfit or something? You see, all these things come back to how we are perceived and what opportunities we can attract. You see, what people behold, they definitely get to form the opinions, judge you, and then at the end of the day, either grant you opportunities or cause you to lose it. And of course, it also comes to aspects like grooming, maybe things to do with the hair, things to do with what, whether it's both gentlemen and ladies, it works. So showing up as the best version of you gives you an edge, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your business, whether it's in the kinds of people you attract, or it gives you the space to influence people beyond your environment or beyond where you live, or it gives you diverse influence. And then, of course, I would come to the bit of communication. Communication is so key. Do you know that by research shows that when it comes to communication, as a communication expert, one thing I would say is that communication is, I would classify it under three aspects. One would be verbal communication, vocal communication, and visual communication. And when you look at those three, one thing that stands out is that people pay attention to those three aspects of communication in certain percentages. I'm going to share the percentages so it will shock you. Visual communication, people pay attention. 55% of their attention goes to your visual communication. Did you know that? And then 38% goes to your vocal communication. And then 7% goes to your verbal communication. Let me break it down. Visual communication basically is what people see, right? Not like example, I'm here, I'm smiling, right? I've been putting my smile once in a, I mean, in certain bits during the conversation. I've been bringing up my smile because it's part of my communication right now. It's part of visual communication. You smile, eye contact, things like eye contact, gestures. At some point, you've seen my hand come up here. You understand? I'm using gestures to communicate to you. So when you're communicating, people pay 55% to your visual communication. So when it comes to the visuals, learn to smile, learn to give eye contact, learn to use your gestures, open gestures. Assuming I came here and probably I'm just like, hi, good evening to you. I am Faith Vetter and I'm so happy to be here. I appreciate you for putting this together. You understand? We did communicate my appreciation. We did communicate everything. But if I said, I'm so happy to be here, thank you for organizing this, you see, that would be more receptive. And it's visual, it speaks louder. And then coming to vocal communication, which people pay attention to as 38%, visual communication involves things like your tone, you know. Let me give you an example. I'm going to illustrate something 3 times and you see the difference in my tone. I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you did this. You see the difference in that? One sounded disappointed. It's the same statement. I can't believe you did this. But in one, it shows disappointment. The other shows surprise. And then the other is that I'm happy that the person actually did it. So you see the power of vocal communication. That's your tone. That is your volume. Like maybe I was speaking loudly and you were not hearing me, so I had to project my volume again. So you understand? So that volume I'm increasing or reducing is part of vocal communication. You see, some of you at some point probably were not hearing me well, so I'm just giving you a live example. That's how vocal communication plays a role. And then 7% are the words you use, verbal communication, which is the words you use, the vocabulary and everything. So that goes ahead to tell you that communication is important. But first of all, people pay even most attention to your visual. They come to your vocal and then the words you use. So why am I bringing communication? It goes a long way in us relating with people, from diverse backgrounds. I mean, bringing us in unison. You see, communication, when you master the art of holding conversations with people or mastering how to communicate effectively, I mean, you won't offend people. You'll be able to communicate even to anyone. And that is one of the ways in which this brings us unity in diversity. I might speak to an audience. When you master communication, you learn how to communicate to different audiences. For example, besides my consultancy and the company, I coach in one of the universities, right? So now, like in that case, there are different categories there. When I'm doing a class for people who just joined from high school, the way I will communicate to them is different from how I would conduct a class for those who have been in the working space for ages and have just come to upgrade. You see how that helps you? Now that is communicating to diverse people, but you learn how to nurture your tone, the choice of words you get, everything that helps me. And even when it comes to different cultures, I've been able to speak to people in different nations and some are even in physical events. So mastering and working on your image, especially when it comes to the communication aspect, will help you to fit in any diverse setting. And also, at the end of the day, the main aim is to be a respectable person, ensure that your message is broad, but also you have respect. And that is something I know that our forefathers had in mind, that we have unison, that we can learn to communicate as Africans, that it's not just that I am a Ugandan, someone else is a South African, another is a Nigerian, and we're all on our own, but that we can have unison as Africans. That's their heart, and communication helps to bridge that. And if you can communicate effectively, then you're awesome. And of course, the third I would say about etiquette is that etiquette is how we it's basically a set of rules that help us behave or to relate with other people and have manners. You can have business etiquette, you can have dining etiquette, you can have etiquette for social media, how you relate. Let me give an example. Yes, you're on social media, but you're always putting negative comments on people's posts, you're lashing out, your posts are not respectable. You understand? That's not the heart of our forefathers. And at the end of the day, social media gives you diverse audience. There's so many people there. So how are you able to relate with people out there, have emotional intelligence, and have social media etiquette? When you're going to someone's inbox, you're going to put your name, those things where you go to someone's inbox and you just say hi, hello. You will stop those habits. You will know that I must go to someone's inbox and say, hello, I am Faith Vetaru. I do this, this, and that. This is the reason why I'm reaching out to you. I look forward to hearing from you. They find something holistic there. That is very powerful. And then etiquette, for example, you've gone for a networking event, it's time to eat, and you can't even, for example, maybe you can't use the cutlery well, or maybe you're talking while you're chewing, you're having all those things can, first of all, affect your image, deprive you of certain opportunities, and cause you to be seen as someone who is unserious. But at the end of the day, also, it shows that you have no respect for other people. When I talk about image, at the end of the day, I'm looking at someone's brand evolving, but at the same time, then you being respectable, right? As an evolved image. So all these different etiquette, or you go to networking events, how do you shake hands, right, with people? How you've gone to a networking event, can you have a small talk with someone? Can you, you know, how do you show up, right? So etiquette plays a very big role because it helps us to communicate the issue of respect, right? Yeah, as we can see, first of all, like earlier when I started speaking, I mentioned the bit of, you see, in many African cultures, for example, you'd come and greet someone, elderly people or others, you would kneel down, right? And what is that? That is respect. I would literally say that is what etiquette is about. It's manners. It's how you respect people. And those are things our forefathers told. Maybe they would say, close your mouth while you're eating, or they would say, when an elder is speaking, keep quiet, listen. That is all part of etiquette. It began a long time ago. So, and these are things which help us to be successful in any setting, that you go to any place, you will be successful, that people will like your brand, people will associate with you because you know how to relate with them. And the last I would say is your digital footprint, your social media platforms. As a brand, how is it? Do you have a bird on your profile picture? Is your bio clear, telling us what you're doing? What are you doing with your platforms? Are you intentional about building a solid brand and having a nice digital footprint for your personal brand or for your business brand? Are you doing that? Or you're just there catching cruise, I'm gonna post anything I want, anytime I want it. Like, that's life. But what legacy are you leaving? Our forefathers were all about legacy and social media and building your own brand, whether it's online or what. This time I'm looking at the digital one. It's one of the ways you can leave an amazing legacy, because as you build your brand online, opportunities are coming your way. People are respecting you, and that will transcend to your own children. You can teach the same values for them, and your name remains your name remains standing out, not just in your nation but across, because for the digital footprint you have influence on people in different spaces. I can give an example. On LinkedIn, sometimes I get the opportunity to interact with CEOs or founders of different organizations. Some are even out of our continent. They reach out. But why do they reach out? It's because I am intentionally building my brand online, and they're seeing it and they feel like they need to connect with me. They can add value. I can't tell you how many opportunities have opened up for me because I put what I need to do right online. And that is one of the ways I'm building my legacy. Especially online, you can build an amazing legacy online. What and the benefits of what you do online can even help you in other aspects of your legacy that you build outside on the physical. So you need take it serious, work on your image online, optimize your profiles, be excellent. Excellence should be our spirit, right? Yeah, so basically my heart out here, especially on enhancing and optimizing one's image, today has focused in line with our topic, which is in line with the vision of our founding forefathers and the unity in diversity. I've highlighted it and broken it down in aspects of course, appearance, communication, etiquette and digital footprint, but in them highlighting values of of our fathers, of our founding fathers, things like honesty, things like respect, things like legacy, things like kindness. Those are the values that I'm highlighting here. So let's get out, let's work on our image. Your image matters, trust me, it matters, and it's a currency. You become irresistible when you intentionally work on your personal, professional image and brand. Take it intentionally and build something lasting that the world will celebrate you for, that you will make a lot of impact for, right? And that you will transform many lives with. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Faith. That was a a
Oh, sorry, I think we've lost Miss Loveline George. I think we've lost her.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you so much for that very beautiful presentation. It is just in line with what we've been trying to communicate. It's in line with our vision and the agenda for this program. And I apologize for my moderators who seem to be affected by network glitches because it is the rainy season over here in Nigeria. So it is raining cats and dogs heavily, like as we speak right now. So I guess that's why. But regardless, it's been an awesome session. Thank you so much for speaking to our youth, our young people. We need to really leverage leverage our personal image, leverage the kind of opportunities that media has given to us, and know how we can use this technology to communicate. Just like you rightly said, that our digital footprints could be a currency that could catapult us, and it could also be a tool to help to unite across Africa. So thank you so much, and we will check now if there are questions for you. Let's see if we have guests who have questions. Does anyone have any question for our speaker tonight? Or has everything that has been communicated been well understood? Please, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comment section. Drop your questions in the comment section. All right. So, in the absence of any questions, if you don't mind, can you share your social media handle so that our listeners could, look you up and connect with you, and maybe for further conversations, if you don't mind.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Precious Nosu. Thank you so much, Mr. President. I appreciate that. So, my social media, this name that you see in front of you, Faith Fetari, the way the spelling is Faith Fetari, you'll find me on all platforms. You'll find me on LinkedIn. I'm very active there. You'll find me on Facebook. I am active there. You'll find me on Instagram. You'll find me on X and YouTube, and even TikTok. So everywhere, just check for Faith Fetaru, you'll find me. Just that name. You can screenshot it, get the spelling, Faith Fetaru, and just find me. All my platforms have that same name and in that same order. Yeah, even if you go to your Google Chrome right now, or you go to your Safari on an iPhone, just search Faith Fetaru, it will bring you a lot about me. Yeah, so that's it about my social media and online. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Lady Faith Fetaru. We are delighted to have you. And on behalf of uh, our organization and the 47 nations where we have participants who have registered for this conference, we want to say a big, big, big thank you. And we look forward to so much more that we could do together in the future. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you so much. I
You're welcome.
appreciate.
All right. So, going forward, uh, we've had an awesome session tonight. Very wonderful sessions. And from the first speaker to the second speaker to the third speaker, you've seen the agenda that we are trying to push. You've seen the agenda that we are trying to communicate. And this is the responsibility of each and every one of you. When we talk about leadership, a lot of people think that leadership is all about taking positions in some lofty offices or some high place. But no, leadership is all about service. What I am doing today in my position as a leader is to serve. I caught an idea that Africans, young emerging leaders across Africa needs to unite. That is the vision of our founding fathers. We need to unite because I would take you back in history 135 years ago, around 1884, 1885. There was a man, an European. His name is Otto von Bismarck. You can make a research on that. He was the one that organized the Berlin Conference. The Berlin Conference in 18, I think between 1884 1885, over 135 years ago. And what was their agenda? What was their agenda? Their agenda was to create borders in Africa, to divide Africa. Their agenda was to lay claims, territorial claims to Africa. So they divided Africa. In that conference, they had that meeting, group of European leaders 135 years ago. And then they divided Africa on a table that the way it is described, the table just like a horseshoe. And then they divided Africa. And then they say, okay, Britain, you take this one. Spain, you take this one. This country, you take this one. Belgium, you have this one. And then that was how they divided Africa and created borders all across. And today, before a Nigerian is even going to be able to step into Ghana, it is a challenge. Before a Nigerian is going to be able to step into Zimbabwe, you have to go through a lot of rigorous processes. But it is not so in their country. It's not so difficult to get a visa in Europe, traveling between European countries amongst themselves. But they created this division in Africa. They created this division in Africa. I do not hold any position. I'm just a youth, just like you. I'm just a young person like you. But I feel the need that the time has come for young people like you and me to begin to see what our founding fathers had fought for over the years, to see what Thomas Sankara fought for when he was 33 and when he became president, to see what Nelson Mandela struggled so much for. They divided Africa, they laid territorial claims to our commonwealth, to our resources. They took and continue to take things from Africa. So it is time for you to wake up. Whatever you have seen we have done in this conference, in this meeting, is what each and every one of you need to go back and replicate. You have heard from the last speaker. You cannot be a leader without a voice. Just like same thing the speaker before her said, Jubilee Rivombo. You need to have a voice. You need to stand your ground. You need to take up a position as an African youth. You don't need any office to do that. You have the social media. You have your social media. You have platforms. You can go back home, organize people in your country, begin to talk about these things. That is the idea. You need to wake up. You need to wake up. You need to understand what has been done to you, and you need to look for a way to do something for yourself. If you hear the way African story is being told in European nations, you will marvel. The way that it is being said that the whole of Africa is one country, over 53 nations in Africa, and then they say Africa is just one country ruled by one president, and then they just talk down on Africa. That is because Africa has not really put up a good impression. So I'm telling you, I'm putting it to you that whatever you have gained from this conference, it is time for you as a young African, as an emerging leader, to put your best foot forward. It is time for you to show the world the best version of yourself. When you show the world the best version of yourself, nobody's going to talk down on you again. People are going to begin to say, oh, when you look at the news, the media, they cannot hide forever. If you are a light, you cannot be hidden. They cannot continue to lie about us forever. So when you begin to make the needed impact, it's going to be all over the media. It's going to be all over the news. They're going to say a young African did this. A young African did that. May we be in the news for the right reasons. That is the reason for this conference. That is the reason for this agenda. And I want you to take it back. You have to go back to your people. You have to go back. You have to start creating communities. You need to start talking to people. You need to start getting everyone to wake up. And just like our first speaker said, if you want to talk about leadership, you must first begin to lead yourself. You need to be a person of good character. If I were not a person of good character, on no ground would I call on people, leaders from all across Africa, and people from 47 nations are going to listen. It's not possible. It is because I am not a person of questionable character. I am a person of integrity. And that is why when I speak, people listen and people follow me. So if you want to replicate what we are doing here, which is the core essence that we have to replicate progressiveness, then you must learn to lead yourself, and you must begin to take advantage of the enthusiasm that has been pumped into you to start leading the people around you. The overall agenda of what we're trying to do is to build a bridge across Africa to unite one another in our diversity. Many people started these things before us, but they left it and they are gone because it could not be achieved in their timeline. But the time has come. We are born for a time as this. As an African, we are born for a time as this. When we were younger, um, there is a poem that we were taught in our school, in our primary school days, and the poem is Africa, my Africa, Africa of proud warriors in ancestral savannah, Africa of whom my grandmother speaks. I have never known you, but your blood flows in my veins, your beautiful black blood that irrigates the field, the blood of your sweat, the sweat of your sons, the slavery of your children. Tell me, Africa, is it this back that is bent? We need to wake up. We are building a bridge to connect the next generation of young African leaders. So talk to people. When we have conferences like this, go all out, invite people, learn what you can learn, go back and replicate it. So I think that is just the most I can say for now, because we have said so much and we don't want to, have an overload of information. We continue tomorrow. We're going to have 2 more speakers to talk to us. And I believe I have done my part and I will keep on doing what I can in my capacity. This is what I can do at the moment. I can only create a platform, gather people, and create awareness on what needs to be done. That is the only thing I can do in my capacity. But when you put one foot forward, that is how we make progress. Thank you very much. I'll be handing over back to the moderator. All right. So I want to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you who have taken out the time to be here. I don't know, am I still audible? Can I still be heard? Can I still be heard? Am I still audible? Am I still audible? All right. So I want to say a very big thank you. Yeah, this is where we're going to draw the curtain for tonight. And like I was saying a few minutes ago, I have done my part. So it is up to you. When we call for conferences like this, young people should be at the forefront, take advantage of this. These people that we have brought together have a wealth of knowledge, a plethora of knowledge, and they are coming to share these things to you for free. These are information that they get paid to share all across the world. And they've come to share this to you for free because they share the same burden of the African dream. The one, every one of us, our struggle is to fix the pain that was caused 135 years ago during the Berlin Conference when Africa was divided. We need to come together, enough of the fighting. So whatever we know we can do, we need to collaborate as young people. In African Emerging Leaders Network, every young person is given a chance to lead. That is why I keep talking about replicating progressiveness. We have done this conference, you've seen what we have done. It is easy for you. We have communities, we have African Emerging Leaders, Namibia community, Ghana community, Nigerian community, South African community, Liberian community, Kenya community, and so on and so forth. If your country is not mentioned, you can reach out to any of the executives, create your own community, and start. We begin to grow it together. And then you begin to talk to your people. You've seen how we have done it here. You can also do it in your community. On your, all you need is just a virtual platform. And then you bring people, 5 people, 10 people, 15 people, 20 people, one person at a time. We are creating this awareness, and they are also going further to create this awareness to other people. So we continue to develop the leaders around us. When I've done my best to create an opportunity to develop the leaders, which are you guys who are listening to me right now, now you go further and develop other people around you. We don't even need any form of a qualification to do that. All you just need to have is a shared burden. A shared burden is all that you require to do this work. A shared burden and commitment to the goal. We are looking at how we can be able to reach over 20 million people between now and the next 5-10 years. It is possible. If I bring the one next to me and you bring the one next to you, we are going to touch lives, and everyone is going to wake up. And when we unify, I don't think that there is anybody or any power or any entity that can break the bond of unity, because unity is power. That is why they divided us and created borders amongst us. Our leaders do not realize these things, and they continue to exploit us and exploit our pain. But we must wake up, and that is why we need the right form of knowledge. We need the right form of information. So this is where we're going to draw the curtain for tonight. Thank you all for joining us. The link to the attendance form is on the screen, so take advantage of it. That is what we're going to use to, identify those that participated for this conference. A lot of people have registered, but many of them do not really have the time to be here. So that speaks a lot about commitment. You want a change, but you cannot be committed to participate in a program that you registered for. That is sad. So take advantage, register. That is how we identify those who participated and how we are going to give our certifications. We want to give certifications to people who really earned it, so that when you go out to speak, we are sure that, yes, you know what you are saying because you were certified by us, which shows that you've gone through the process, you understand what needs to be done. So we're going to be here tomorrow, 5 p.m. Nigerian time. You can check on the group for other time zones. Have a lovely evening and enjoy your night. Bye.